oftentimes I get asked, when do you know a child is ready to make a change? This is a great question, and I've actually had a lot of experiences that help me know when a child is ready to make a change. One of them is when the child says yes to an unknown process. Okay? Life coaching with me is not a process that can be found on a computer and then you can predict the next steps. It is an unknown process in the sense that I'm going to look at your strengths, your interests, areas for wanting to improve, and then design a trajectory that responds to where you are and where you want to be. Now, of course, I'm going to show you what that plan will look like, but it's still unknown. It's like having a map, but not knowing everything you're going to see along the path. And if you're hiking, you better wear long pants. Okay, that was bad. Anyway, so when a child is ready to go through a process where they cannot predict what's going to happen, but they have a wholehearted yes, that is a good indicator of your child being ready to make a change. Change does not happen because we want it to happen. It happens because we're ready to make some steps towards the change happening. So one of my wonderful teenagers came to me and she said that she had been bottling up her emotions for the last 7 years. And at the time she was only 14, so she knew that she had spent half of her life bottling up her emotions, and she was ready to experience more of opening herself up after attending one of my events. So we have a coaching conversation, and in this 30 minutes, it was wonderful what happened, okay? So she came in with a guiding question for her, okay? I always ask what the question is for them. I don't come in saying this is what we're going to do because this is how you want to change or how you need to change. I come in saying, how would you like today's meeting to help you, or what would you like today's meeting to help you accomplish, okay? So in that meeting, she came in with wanting to know, how do you let someone go? So we would explore how she would let someone go, a friend. Their relationship had changed and she was ready to let it go, but she didn't know how. Now, this is a big question. Even for us adults, we have to continually explore our discernment of when to let people go. We hold on for years after the expiration date, and we feel such a brokenheartedness around this. And the wonderful thing with kids coaching is that it can help eliminate the issues that the child may go to therapy for later in life. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I have a therapist. The wonderful thing about coaching for kids is that it helps them to develop their skill set, their interests, their natural gifts for living the life that they are called to live. They have divine purpose. Don't we want to see everybody live on purpose, doing their divine work, and that is a benefit to all of us, a benefit to them, and it doesn't violate or harm anyone? That goes like... That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's what we want. So the young lady comes in with this question, and what I do in my process with her is I take her through some emotional conditioning, some creative visualization, guided meditations, exploring the emotions that she attached to particular events, and then asking her, what she wanted to experience next, or what she wanted to experience in place of some emotions that she didn't want to feel after that event. Now, what she recognized, I did not tell her this, I did not suggest that she thinks this. What she recognized is that when she removes the person from that space of making the memory with them, what's left for her is what is important to her. That is so wonderful. And you may be wondering, well, Ashley, how did she get there if you didn't guide her? What I did was I set the tone for her to be open with herself. Respect the child, accept the child, explore. And when I say accept, they come as they are. They don't come, having met all of my expectations for them. And as their parent or guardian or as a service provider, you watching this video, you may be wondering, well, how do I accept them when they do this or when they have that? Let that go, because that is down here when we think about who God is calling them to be, who God has designed them to be. What you expect is so minimal to their greater self. Like, we cannot expect enough. And sometimes we get caught up in needing to expect more because we need to feel like we did our job. But when you partner with the Most High, you can relinquish that worry step by step. Now, I do want to be clear on something. As you know, I am a follower of Christ. I do not open up my Bible with the children and say, we're going to read from John 15. No, what we do is we focus on the principles that help them to live the life that keeps their hearts and minds open to the beauty and the magnificence of life. Okay? And we address any challenges, any behaviors that get in the way of that. And they are required to be sincere with themselves, to be honest with me. But that's it. That's it. So I accept, even if they're not telling me the whole truth, because I always say, especially to my younger ones, if I ask your mother that, will she say the same? And then that kind of puts them in check, because then I don't just hide the meeting notes and say, okay, we're going to keep going. I share the notes so that we're all on the same page. Family bridge, family child bonding opportunity. We grow together. Now back to this wonderful 14-year-old. She had this revelation that when the person is removed from that space of creating the memories, what's left is what matters to her. And then she had this insight. It doesn't matter if the memory is important to them. It's still important to me. The memory matters to me regardless of how much it matters to them. Now that, and let me tell you why. Because she got that at 14. I didn't get that until 20 years later. At 34, okay? So she's already 20 years ahead of me. That's why I love kids coaching. I get to be a part of kids getting ahead of me. Okay? So when we talk about being able to identify if a child is ready for change, if they're ready to go through a process that's unknown, they can't predict it, but they're willing to go through it, even just session by session or step by step, that's how you know they're ready. And when they are not fully honest about what they're going through, it doesn't mean that they're trying to cause harm or be deceptive. Kids have to learn how to be honest with themselves and be accepting of themselves. And the way they learn that is by our acceptance of them when they are honest with us. Let me say that again. Children learn to accept themselves and be honest with themselves by the way we respond to them when they are honest with us. If they can be honest with us and we accept that, then they're going to be more accepting of themselves. They don't feel isolated or alienated because they were telling the truth. I'll touch on that in upcoming videos. But I just wanted to share this with you because it's so exciting. You have the power to create the spiritual and emotional tone you want to have so your child and you can experience the growth that you want to experience together. I'm so glad you joined me for this video. When your child has a question, let them ask it. Create the space. Make it special. If you can't answer it in that moment, say, you know what? I really want to hear this question. I want to have this conversation with you. I want to listen. Let's put this on the calendar because right now is not a good time. If it's not a good time, right now it's not a good time. Let's put it on the calendar. Let's make a date out of it because I want to hear what you have to say. If you do that with your child, they're going to want to share with you. They're going to want to open their heart to you because they feel safe. Psychological safety is not just for the workplace. workplace. It's for every relationship that we have in our lives. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you again very soon.